All right, let's just get right into it. Have you ever been scrolling on your phone and suddenly realized an entire hour has just vanished? If that sounds familiar, then you've felt what it's like to have your mind, well, hijacked. We're going to break down what is really going on in your brain, and it all starts with a very simple but really powerful idea. First things first, let's get this straight. You're not lazy. That feeling when you just can't bring yourself to start that big project, that constant urge to put things off, that's not a flaw in your character. It's not a lack of discipline. And it is definitely not because you're weak-willed. I mean, think about what you're up against. You've got some of the smartest people in the world engineering ways to keep you hooked. The endless scroll that literally never stops. The unpredictable little rewards that keep you coming back for more. So no, this is not a willpower problem. That's really the only word for it, hijacked. And it sounds like a metaphor, right? But it's actually what's happening on a neurological level. Your attention, your focus, your precious time, it's all been taken over by a system that was built to do exactly that. It's a quiet battle for your mind that's happening all day, every day. And that is the absolute key to understanding this. This isn't your personal failure. You didn't do anything wrong. It's the result of a system with very specific tools it uses to keep you locked in. And here they are, the weapons of this hijacking. Every single reel, every short, every single swipe, it's like a training exercise for your brain. You are actively teaching it to expect and, more importantly, to crave instant novelty, instant gratification. It's a habit loop that gets stronger and stronger. But what are you actually training your brain to crave on a chemical level? Well, this is where we get into the science of it all. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it all comes down to a tiny chemical you've probably heard of, dopamine. But here's the thing, not all dopamine hits are created equal. And what we're getting from our screens is what you could call cheap dopamine. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like cognitive junk food. It's super fast, it's easy, it gives you that little burst of pleasure with basically zero effort. But just like junk food, it gives you no real nourishment. It just leaves you wanting more. And this creates a really powerful addiction loop. It's so simple, it's brilliant, really. Look, it starts with step one. You scroll, you swipe. That immediately leads to step two. You get that tiny, instant, cheap dopamine hit. Then your brain's reward system goes, ooh, I like that, let's get more, which is step three, the craving. And what does that craving lead to? You guessed it. Step four, you repeat the cycle, over and over and over again. So, what's the big deal, right? A little strolling never hurt anyone. But what's the real price we're paying for living inside this loop? Well, the cost is subtle. It kind of sneaks up on you. But trust me, it is incredibly high. Does any of this sound familiar? Trying to read a book but you just can't focus? Or even trying to watch a full movie without picking up your phone? That restless, anxious feeling you get when you're just alone with your thoughts in silence? Yeah, those aren't just quirks. Those are the symptoms of a mind that's been trained for constant, cheap stimulation. Let's just put it side by side. On the left, you have the hijacked mind, a shrinking attention span, patience that's basically dead, and this constant nagging craving for the next little hit. But on the right, that's what's possible. Deep concentration, a calm presence, the ability to choose your actions with intention. That's the trade-off we're making. That's what's at stake here. And we really have to be honest with ourselves about what this is. You know, we think of addiction as this extreme thing, but the brain chemistry, the mechanism, it's the same. It is a compulsive behavior that you keep doing despite the negative consequences. The lost time, the fractured focus, and for so many of us, it just looks like the harmless promise of just one more scroll. Okay, that all sounds pretty bleak, I know. But listen to me. This right here is the single most important part of this entire explainer. This is not permanent. Your brain is incredible. It has this amazing ability to change and rewire itself. It's called neuroplasticity. The damage is not irreversible. You can heal. So, how do we do it? How do we start? Well, reclaiming your focus isn't about some massive battle of willpower against technology. No. It's about intentionally and slowly rewiring the very pathways in our brain that got hijacked in the first place. And it all starts with knowing that recovery is totally 100% possible. Think about it. Just like your brain was trained for distraction, you can retrain it for focus. Your patience can absolutely be rebuilt, not all at once, but by choosing tiny moments of quiet, by choosing to be bored for 5 minutes. Your life, the one that exists outside the screen, the one with deep conversations and real experiences, it can come back. And this leads us to the final and most critical part. Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to a choice you make every single day about what you are feeding your mind. We really are standing at a fork in the road. On one side, you've got the easy path, the default setting, feeding the addiction with mindless scrolling, cheap hits, and just passively consuming whatever the algorithm throws at you. But then there's the other path, feeding your future, choosing mindful work, trading those cheap hits for real, lasting fulfillment, shifting from being just a consumer to being an active creator. And this is so much bigger than just being more productive. A distracted world is a passive world. Your full attention, your unique creativity, your ability to think deeply and solve hard problems, we need that. The world needs that now more than ever. So the only question left is, are you ready to wake up and reclaim it? Ultimately, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. Every moment is a choice. You can keep feeding the loop that keeps you trapped, or you can make a different choice. A choice to start investing in the focused, present, and incredible future that you actually deserve. The choice, as always, is yours.